everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Sophie, and this channel is chronicling my journey to get my life back after having been diagnosed with some chronic health conditions. Today I wanted to talk about identity, self-identity, and how that can change when you get diagnosed with a chronic condition. It can also change in a lot of other situations, with aging, with loss of a loved one. It can really change with a lot of different things, but for the main part of the video, I'm going to talk about how it can change in regards to health conditions. So a lot of us identify ourselves by what we are able to do. We are a doctor, we are a lawyer, we are a student, we are smart, we are athletic, we are a type A personality. We don't really see ourselves as our qualities so much as what we're able to do. And this can become a problem if you get an illness or something happens and you are no longer able to engage in those things. Again, this could be an illness where you're not physically able to engage in something. This could be aging, if you get arthritis, for example, which I guess is technically still a medical condition, so still medical. But just aging, losing your friends so you don't have those people to do things with anymore, you sort of get to wondering, who am I without being able to do this thing? And it can be really difficult. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. I want to make sure I get everything. And people can become self-destructive. They might turn to alcohol and drugs or other self-destructive coping mechanisms. They can blame themselves, like, why can't you just do this? Why aren't you able to do this anymore? You just aren't trying hard enough. You're lazy. Just make yourself do it. And it sort of becomes this vicious cycle where you're not able to do something, you blame yourself for not being able to do it, but since you can't do it, you turn to destructive things that you're able to do to help cope with the loss of identity, that loss of who you thought you were. Even in my introduction, I say that I'm trying to get my life back, when, if you really think about it, like, I still have my life. I'm still alive. I'm still living. I'm just not living the life I used to have. And it's that sort of thing that I'm definitely still wrestling with. I used to be, well, I still am definitely type A personality. I'm always been like a go-getter. I've always been involved in numerous clubs and activities. I was a dancer and a majorette in high school. I did powerlifting after high school and ballroom dance after high school and college. So I've always been type A, very driven, very book smart. I was a very good student. I was athletic and fit at one time. I was strong at one time from powerlifting. I was a workaholic. I was working 2 jobs, about 70 or so hours a week. And then I got sick, and all of that went away. I could no longer be active. I could no longer concentrate or focus enough to even read. I couldn't remember long enough to make a to-do list. By the time I had the thought, you need to buy milk, and reached for a pen, the thought was already gone and I couldn't remember it. So everything I had prided on being, the book smart, workaholic, driven person, was gone, and I didn't know who I was. And a lot of times I still don't know who I am, because I'm always trying to get back to living my life, getting back to being who I was. But I'm trying to teach myself that who I am at the core, inside, hasn't changed. I'm still what I think is a compassionate person. I care about others. I want to help others. I still try to be mindful of other people's time. I don't want to burden other people. I don't want to ask for help, which is something I'm working on. But on the flip side, like, I still see myself as a failure if I have to nap during the day, or if I don't get my to-do list done. It's improving, but those thoughts definitely still go through my head. Just, why can't you get this done? Why can't you just stay awake? And trying to do things to make myself stay awake, which I do need to figure out how to do. I will get up, I will do squats, I will walk through the house, then I come back upstairs and sit down, and then I fall asleep. And then it's just this thought of, like, you're failing, like, you can't even stay awake. How are you supposed to get back to going to school? How are you supposed to get to going to work? How are you going to get back to the gym if you can't do the one simple thing, which is stay awake? And it's really hard to sort of quiet those voices and realize that what we normally base our identity on, which is what we're physically and mentally able to do, shouldn't be what we think is most important about ourselves. We should wonder if we're still compassionate towards each other, if we still take time when we can to help one another, and things like that. It shouldn't be about doing things. It should be about who you are being as a person. So I know I'm not alone with this. I know this is very common with lots of conditions for lots of different people. It can also happen after loss of a loved one. I've lost many family members, starting when I was 7. And it's weird that part of your identity is gone when your mom dies. For instance, my mom died when I was 11. So on Mother's Day, when everyone in elementary school was making Mother's Day card, I was not involved because I didn't have a mom to make a Mother's Day card for. So you start thinking, well, I'm not a daughter. I'm not a granddaughter because my grandparents had passed away. Or, like, this person's missing from my life, so, like, that part of my identity no longer exists. Identity comes in lots of forms. But what I think is important for all of us to do, and not just those with chronic illnesses, but everyone, is to realize that identity isn't who you know or who you are in relation to someone else, or what you can do physically, what position you hold for employment, what grades you get in school, or whether you're smart or not. It's really about those intangible qualities, about what makes a good person. If someone were to say, what do you look for in a significant other? Or what do you look for in a friend? Most people aren't going to say, I want a type A personality who has a 4.0 GPA and who goes to the gym 5 days a week and can exercise at X level. No, most people are going to say, I want someone caring, compassionate, who's a good listener, who will be there for me if I need them, who has a good sense of humor. And those are the qualities that we should look for in ourselves when we think of identity. So that's what I'm going to continue working on this year as I start to rebuild, sort of rebuilding my self-image, if you will. Like I said, it is better than it used to be, but there's definitely room for improvement. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good day whenever it is you are seeing this. I'm not sure when I'm going to post this. It will be after the previous video you just saw, which will be on the positives for me of this chronic illness journey. With the last one I talked about sort of learning who your friends are and stuff like that, and learning who you are as a person. So this journey has enabled me to sort of start to see myself as more than just what I'm able to do, and really see myself as who I am as a being. I hope it can help you see who you are as a being also. Until next time, guys. Bye.